Week 3 is moments away from starting, and I'm about to head to the ring for my title match that I earned by being the runner-up at the Mega Clash. I'm stopped by SIDEBURN Sam, who was pissed off Goliath's pre-match attack cost him the world title. "You said you were gonna clean up pro wrestling and things like this would be outlawed," he reminds me, and he's right. My vision is for constant legitimacy and stomping out anything that brings the results into question. I tell him I do agree with him and would meet with Goliath before the night's end to handle the matter. Breaking ground! It's that time of the week and I'm glad you tuned in. It's time for storytelling, stories told in a cube ring. We breaking ground, that's just sort of our thing. Making stars out of cars, all trying to get the pin. Body slams and suplex, don't get hit with a super kick. From the chops to the chest, anything for the win. Yeah, this is HKW, so stick around while we break ground. It's what I would do. This is breaking ground. 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 So being that I was the Mega Clash runner-up and Revenant won the 4-way to determine the Mega Clash most dominant, Revenant and I will be the first ever to challenge for the HKW Internet Championship. Unfortunately, it was a beatdown. I was definitely outclassed. Revenant had the power advantage and used it to throw me around at will. Revenant is now our first ever multi-title holder and the first ever men's internet champion. PERCY'S Angels challenge Strong and Sexy for a title shot. Angela Ball declines the request. She tells them if they want a title shot, how about they rank up and qualify first? Hasra chimes in that this applies to the entire tag team division. No one gets a title shot until they have gotten into the championship contenders ranking or the rules force them to defend the title. Other than that, see you when you qualify. Yeah, so last week's match between Reyes and Black should have been a contenders match, but instead we crowned Reyes Internet Champ. My bad. So as a result of that, this week will be REYNA's first defense against the Mega Clash runner-up, Tiffany Storm. You see, we fixed that right on up. Integrity's still perfect. REYNA out here making quick work of Tiffany Storm and she retains the Women's Internet Championship. Congrats to REYNA and the frontliners for making history with the company's first ever title defense. Let's see where her story goes from here. If good old JR was calling this match, he would have called it a slobber knocker. These big men were going hard at it, with a lot of back and forth as a possible internet title shot was potentially at stake. This match could easily go either way as Rage and El Diablo are pretty evenly matched. Ultimately, it's Rage that came out on top. I guess it's Rage and Revenant for the internet title next week. After the match, Leon brags about how already Revenant is the greatest HKW competitor by being his first multi-champion. Now, all he needs is the world title. Oh, and Leon lets Rage know there have been some modifications to his agreement with Revenant for the title shot. In fairness to all competitors in the back, Rage will have to qualify. Leon continues, this means you have 4 more matches to go. If when you get to 5 matches and you are ranked as a contender, well then, Revenant will be more inclined to grant you that title shot. Knowing he's being screwed, but with no other option, Rage agrees. Okay, so even though I'm super proud of how the first 2 weeks went, I'd be fronting if I didn't admit some hiccups. I don't mean to ruffle feathers in the back, but I'm here and I will be competing. Dangerous. It doesn't seem like you want to give me the opportunity I've given you. That's fine. Next week, we can have a match. Maybe then I'll give you an L and push you further away from a title shot. Then you see I too am the real deal and not just a promoter pushing himself. Next, I did promise things would be different here in terms of cheating. Goliath attacking SIDEBURN Sam before his world title match is uncalled for and is unacceptable. SBS, on week 5, you'll have a rematch for the world title against Twister. I also have no choice but to suspend Goliath for... And before I could finish, Goliath makes his way to the ring. He tells me to hold my horses. He says he was just pissed off that SBS had eliminated him from the Mega Clash and it wouldn't happen again. He points out the fact that the rules say no cheating during the match, and technically he didn't cheat because the match hadn't yet begun. Great, a loophole. I tried to explain to Goliath that either way, it affected the match. and I needed to be the face of justice. Goliath butts in and says he sees a lot of talent rolling up on me and asks me how would I like that to end. How would I like him to be my tag team partner and go for the titles? Goliath and David. Can you picture it, he asked. To be honest, I could. How about David and Goliath, I asked. He responded, whatever works. Plus, people will stop getting in your face once they see you hanging around me, he adds. You know, I did just give SBS a rematch, and Goliath was right about there not being a specific rule about pre-match attacks. Maybe a verbal warning would suffice this time, but I did let him know next time, no breaks, partners or not. Feeling good about the outcome, Goliath then asked for a match with whoever in the back had a problem with him. His little brother BOSSMAN then comes out. He lets Goliath know that this is why he won't team with him, already causing chaos. Didn't I boot you out the Mega Clash, little bro? Stop playing and join the team before I make it real hard for you around here. BOSSMAN, disappointed by his brother, tells him he would love to join him, but once he grows up. Guess I'll see you at the top, says BOSSMAN. Goliath, pissed off with his brother's judgment, decided he'd make another offer. I'll tell you what, little bro. Since you chose to come out here as I'm looking for a challenger, why don't you step up? If you win, I'll grow up just like you want. But if I win, you're in my faction and you do as I say. BOSSMAN, feeling this could be a chance to reach his brother, accepts. So later tonight is Goliath versus BOSSMAN. Next up was Big Time Factor's CALAMITY taking on TABOO. These two had their moments in the Mega Clash. That's Tamira, CALAMITY's partner and leader of the Big Time Factor faction. She's also one of my go-tos backstage. TABOO initially gets the upper hand and shows why she's here to stay, but it's CALAMITY's relentlessness that helps her pull this one out. She gets the W and a step closer to title contention. In the ring, the world champ Twister tells the crowd how honored he is to be the first HKW world champion. He lets them know how much he loves the ranking system and the new twisted things, which allow talent like him to get chances they normally wouldn't get. No one expected him to get 8.5 eliminations at that Mega Clash or be the first HKW world champ. He was rewarded for it, and now he's world champ. PDG comes out insisting he doesn't mean to interrupt the bragging party. He was just making his presence and intentions known. And being that those intentions were to be the next HKW world champion, he thought Twister should know. Twister says as soon as he handles his situation with SIDEBURN Sam, he would gladly turn his attention to PDG. Then he wishes PDG good luck on getting past Pals later tonight. Here's another two I'm high on. Angelina Melendez and Katie Hurst, also known as Women of War or Team WOW. Two women I think will fare well in both tags and singles competition. On the other side, I'm trying to figure out if Bittersweet will end up being top tier or jobbers. Revenge tapped to the Azralock, costing herself a tag title shot, and Mary was quickly tossed from the clash by smaller talent. Suffice to say, Team WOW win this bout and capture their first win as partners in HKW. Another match with title implications. Both were in the four-way, second most dominant match that could have led to an internet title shot. Now here's a chance to redeem themselves. It's pretty much a back and forth match, but in the end it's PDG that is able to pick up the win. It's early, but that's already 3 overall losses for Mike Piles. Lost at the Clash, lost the four-way match, and now this. Boy. Tonight's main event stems from an earlier segment in which Goliath and his little brother BOSSMAN had a back and forth. Goliath gave BOSSMAN a stipulation that if he lost, he would be the big brother BOSSMAN always wanted. But if Goliath won, then BOSSMAN would be the first member in his faction, and he would be the brother Goliath always wanted BOSSMAN to be. The bell rings, and unfortunately, this doesn't turn out how BOSSMAN envisioned. Goliath took no time bringing it to his little brother, delivering a devastating lariat from behind as BOSSMAN interacted with the fans. He then delivered chokeslam powerbomb after chokeslam powerbomb after chokeslam powerbomb and pins his little brother. BOSSMAN was now under Goliath. I wonder what this means for our tag team. And after witnessing this, I'd rather not ask.